Have you ever found yourself trapped in a web of thoughts, unable to escape the endless cycle of overthinking? The kind that keeps you up all night, second guessing every decision or replaying all the past conversations? Well, you're not alone. Overthinking affects all of us, and it's time to break free from its grip. In this video, we'll uncover the secrets to silence the chaos in your mind and start living a life of clarity and confidence. So, if you're ready to regain control, let's dive into the art of conquering overthinking. Hello all you beautiful people out there. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Nidhi, and today we're going to talk about overthinking. Overthinking, it can steal your peace, your time and your clarity. But here's the good news. You can regain control of your thoughts and lead a more mindful and focused life. So let's dive into some practical strategies to stop overthinking and start living more in the present moment. But before we do that, I have a small request. Please make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video from me. Now, let's get started. So let's begin by understanding what is overthinking. Overthinking is a specific style of thinking that involves repetitive, intrusive, and distressing thoughts. Overthinking typically involves dwelling on the same issues or concerns, often without reaching a solution or a resolution. It can be a habitual thought process that actually can lead to anxiety, indecision, and sometimes a feeling of being overwhelmed. So, how do we stop ourselves from overthinking? Well, believe it or not, an effective solution lies in our language. Yes, language is a powerful tool that can shape our thoughts and emotions more than we realize. The words we choose have a profound impact on our emotional state and how we interpret the world around us. So think of your mind as a canvas and your words as the paint that color that canvas. When we use negative language, we're essentially painting a very bleak and worrisome picture on that canvas of our mind. Let me explain this using some examples. Words like, I can't stand it. So let's take some scenarios. Imagine you're stuck in a traffic jam and you think, I can't stand this traffic. It's making me so angry. Or you're facing a challenging task at work and you tell yourself, I can't stand. Or words like, or sentences like, this is a nightmare. Again, let's take some examples of where you might use this. Let's say you're planning a party and when things don't go as planned, you say, this is a nightmare, the whole event is ruined. Or you have an upcoming exam and as you study, you think, this is a nightmare, I'm never going to pass this test. Or some other words or phrases like, I'm dying here. So let's say you're giving a presentation and you feel nervous thinking, I'm dying here because everyone's judging me. Or you're in a social gathering and you're just a bit uncomfortable, but you tell yourself, I'm dying here, I need to escape this situation. You see, these phrases are like rain clouds that darken the mental landscape, leading to overthinking and anxiety. So consider this, when you repeatedly tell yourself that you can't stand a situation, your mind begins to dwell on the aspect you dislike, magnifying them and making them seem unbearable. Likewise, if you declare something is a nightmare, your mind starts to focus on all the negative aspects. And when you exclaim words or phrases like you're dying in a particular circumstances, you're sending your mind into a spiral of panic and stress. But here's the secret to overcoming overthinking. Change the language we use. So instead of painting a gloomy picture, you can use words that are more positive, solution-focused, and empowering. So by shifting from I can't stand it to I can handle it, from this is a nightmare to this is a challenge I can conquer, and from I'm dying here to I'm learning and growing through this, we transform the canvas of our mind into a masterpiece of resilience and optimism. This transformation you see isn't just about words, it's about beliefs and actions. It ties into the concept of self-fulfilling prophecy. When you believe that you can cope with situations and you approach them with a positive mindset, you're more likely to handle them effectively. Your empowered words become self-fulfilling prophecies, leading to outcome that matches your newfound confidence. So, if you want to put an end to overthinking and anxiety, start by choosing your words wisely. Point number 2. Identifying your triggers. Just like how weather patterns can change rapidly, our thoughts can become turbulent and lead to overthinking. Think of your mind as an ocean, vast, unpredictable, and sometimes stormy. What stirs the waters? Triggers. Triggers can vary significantly from person to person, much like how different factors create unique weather patterns, right? Now, let's look at some examples of famous individuals and their triggers. Take Abraham Lincoln, for instance, a towering figure in history. He battled chronic depression, often triggered by the fear of failure. The weight of his leadership during the American Civil War and his relentless pursuit of justice for all weighed heavily on his mind. Even someone as accomplished as Serena Williams faces her triggers. The tennis legend, despite her numerous victories, experiences performance anxiety, particularly before major tournaments. The pressure to maintain her high standards and reputation can lead to a spiral of overthinking. So you see, these examples show that triggers can affect anyone, regardless of their status or success. So here's an exercise for you. Grab a piece of paper and jot down your triggers. Is it the fear of failure, like Lincoln, or perhaps performance anxiety like Serena Williams? Identify your unique triggers. This is the first step in gaining control over your thoughts. So remember, much like a meteorologist who prepares for storms, you can prepare for your mental storms by identifying your triggers. Now that we've identified our triggers, it's time to embrace the power of mindfulness. Imagine your mind as a garden and your thoughts as seeds. Being mindful means tending to this garden with care. Mindfulness is a practice of being fully present and aware of your thoughts and feelings without any judgment. It's like watching the flowers bloom without intervening. By being mindful of your triggers, you can catch negative thoughts as they sprout, preventing them from growing into overwhelming weeds. The key here is to remember that the thought is just a thought until you give it power. Mindfulness empowers you to be the gatekeeper of your mind, choosing which thoughts to nurture and which to let wither. Don't judge or suppress your thoughts. Accept them as just a natural mental occurrence. So here's a practical tip for challenging your thoughts. Ask yourself whether the worry is based on a realistic scenario or if it's an exaggerated concern. If you're overthinking a work presentation, for example, remind yourself that your fear of public speaking may actually not even be grounded in reality. So as you nurture your garden of thoughts with mindfulness, remember you have the power to manage them. Next, let's delve into the powerful practice of acceptance and positive reframing, which can transform the way you perceive and handle challenging situations. Let's start with acceptance. Picture your life as a vast ocean with waves of experience and situations. Sometimes you encounter storms you can't control. Trying to fight against these inevitable waves will only lead to exhaustion. The same goes for resisting or refusing to accept the reality of certain situations. It's like struggling against the tide. Nelson Mandela, the iconic South African leader, he faced an extraordinary test of acceptance during his long imprisonment. He couldn't change his confinement, but he could choose how he perceived it. By embracing the reality of his circumstances, he developed remarkable resilience. His acceptance was a key to his eventual triumph. It's important to identify situations you cannot change and then practice acceptance. We often intensify our overthinking by catastrophizing situations. But by acknowledging that certain circumstances are just beyond your control, you can reduce the mental turbulence. Some practical strategies here would involve finding the silver lining in challenging moments. So even during a rainy day, there's some beauty to be found. Seek the lessons and personal growth opportunities in the storms of life. Remember, when you can't change a situation or fully accept it, you can change the way you talk about it. The power of perspective is profound. By shifting your focus to a more positive outlook, you can definitely reduce overthinking and stress. Now, let's talk about the transformative practice of disidentification and self-reflection, which can help you create mental space, silence, and heightened energy. Imagine your mind as a vast forest with numerous trees representing various aspects of your life. Each tree symbolizes your physical surroundings, your roles, possessions, and thoughts. To overcome overthinking, it is vital to disidentify from these external aspects. I encourage you to practice a simple exercise before bedtime. Take a moment to consciously acknowledge everything that is not truly you. This includes your physical surroundings, your various roles such as a parent or a spouse, an employee, your possessions, and even your own thoughts. By distancing yourself from external identifications, you create mental space and silence. Think of it as stepping back and watching the forest from a distance rather than being entangled within it. This mental space allows you to reflect on your true essence. Sadhguru, who is a spiritual leader and yogi, he emphasizes the power of self-reflection. He believes that by disidentifying with the external, individuals can access the profound energy and intensity within themselves. The inner silence attained through this practice is a gateway to vibrant living. So, we've come to the end of our journey on how to stop overthinking. Remember, the power to change the way you think is right in your hands. By recognizing what triggers your overthinking, staying mindful, accepting life's challenges, and letting go of what doesn't define you, you're opening the door to a more focused, confident, and exciting life. Think of these changes as simple but powerful keys to unlocking a brighter future. The energy and fulfillment you've all been seeking is within reach. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting content. Finally, take a step forward with confidence and let your thoughts lead you to a life free from burden of overthinking. Until next time, take care.